Time now for Todd's Daily Complaint.
Todd never complains, right?
And on the soapbox I go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we always give him a couple of minutes to complain about something.
You're quasi-evil. You're semi-evil. You're the margarine of evil. You're the Diet Coke of evil. Just 1 calorie, not evil enough.
Hey, look, he can't always be happy. It's time for Todd's Daily Complaint.
This from the New York Daily News online.
You're starting your complaint with a quote from the New York Daily News.
Just listen to this. This is rich. Meteorologists across the Northeast were apologizing Tuesday morning after the so-called storm of the century proved to be less than historic.
You've already complained about this.
Oh, but I'm getting into this even more now. Blizzard warnings that called for up to 3 feet to fall in New York City led officials to close schools, cancel flights, and institute statewide travel bans. But the snowstorm did not pummel parts of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania with the same punch that forecasters had predicted. Gary, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to call him Satkowski.
Or Smith is fine.
Well, it's SZ, and SZ usually makes a sh sound, but Shatkowski doesn't sound very nice, so I'm going to call him Gary Satkowski. He's the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey. Just before 1 a.m. on Tuesday, he tweeted, "My deepest apologies to many key decision makers and so many members of the general public. You made a lot of tough decisions expecting us to get it right, and we didn't. Once again, I'm sorry." John Bolaris from the Philadelphia Inquirer called the storm a cakewalk for the city, with only 1 to 3 inches expected Tuesday. From a forecast standpoint, he says it's been a failure, or better yet, a bust. When are these meteorologists going to pay for their mistakes? They're wrong more than they're right. It's 2015.
Wait.
We know where Santa's at, and we can't figure out whether or not it's going to snow 30 inches or 3 inches. And you know what happens every time? Same thing here. You watch next time we get snow. They'll put that little map up, and there'll be a band of snow that just happens to dip down right around Oklahoma City, where it'll say 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, all really close. That way they got their ass covered no matter where it goes, 2 to 8 inches. Well, it just moved down a little bit. It just moved up a little bit. Always right around the city, there's one of those bands there.
That's not true.
And if you notice, we're always in the band that shows more snow, because more snow means more freakouts and means more people watching their forecasts.
Well, yeah. I agree with that.
They lie to us to get us to watch.
Are you questioning the integrity
Yes.
of Weathermen
100%.
and ladies?
100%. How can they be so wrong so often?
Because the weather changes.
You know what? It's 2015. Figure it out. We have scientific advances and advances in technology that we shouldn't be off by 27 inches on how much snow falls in an area. It missed it by an inch or two. You missed it by 2.5 feet.
We have a record, by the way, of every daily complaint that Todd has done since we started this segment, and I'm going to guess that in terms of topics that you have based your daily complaint on, that weather probably leads the list.
And on top of that, the entire state of New York shut down. People lost money. People without sick leave are losing money because they're not able to go to work, because everyone shut it down because you said it was going to be so bad. And then it wasn't. And now the economy's taking a hit in New York City. Same thing happens here when the weather gets real bad and people start shutting stuff down. Schools get canceled and they don't need to be. People can't go to work even if they could get out to go to work. They can't because now their kids are at home too, and they got to stay home and watch the kids. Everybody freaks out. Now you know what's going to happen next time? No one's going to do anything, and it's actually going to hit, and people are going to die because they're not prepared for it because you got it wrong. So don't give me this crap about saving lives You might end up costing us lives with this thing.
Oh, come on. Get out of here.
Weathermen,
What a
women.
stupid leap you just made. This is part of the 3 rule. You know, the Zach McCrite rule of 3s. There are 3 instances in which the rule of 3 implies, and it all happens based on lies. Okay, number 1. Men usually lie about the number of women they have slept with in their lives. They usually embellish it by a multiple of 3. For instance, if you've slept with, let's say, 7 girls in your life, usually most men will say, oh, I've slept with 20, 21. Women, rule number 2, women do the same exact thing with the rule of 3, except they do it in the opposite. If they've slept with 12 men,
it's really 36.
They say if they say they've slept with 4 men, they've really slept with 12. And the final rule of 3 that always applies in terms of lies by people is the amount of snow weather people forecast. They always forecast. It's almost clockwork, Todd. They always forecast right around 3 times more snow than will actually fall. So there's your 3 rules of 3 in society. Men lie on the high end by multiple of 3 on women that they've slept with. Women lie by a multiple of 3 under the number of men they've slept with. And weathermen and women lie by a multiple of 3 on how much snow will come down in a forecast.
Stephen DiMartino. He is at NYNJPA Weather. Says, well, the forecast for Pennsylvania and Western New Jersey is pretty much crash and burn. Kate Below from CBS Channel 3. All right, this dunce is headed to bed. More snow chances ahead as the cold gets locked in. We'll get the next one right. Thanks a lot, Kate. You screwed me on this one, though.
No, first off, you weren't affected at all.
I am affected.
No, you're not.
Because I tuned in all night last night to blizzard coverage, hoping to see mass hysteria, and I got people hopping around in 3 inches of snow. Like, ooh, looky here, I made a footprint. Check that out, it's a footprint. I want them to fall in a drift. I want to see mass hysteria when you tell me we're going to get mass hysteria.
James on Twitter, hashtag daily complaint. And what a great finish to this tweet. Advances in technology can't help you be perfect in preventing stats for each game, can it? Whiny biatch.
I must say, I do kind of resemble that remark.